It's a very brief response to is God the author of sin? It seems to be a bigger deal, apparently. I think the reaction, which is the most ignoble expression of conduct, toward an article written entitled The Author of Sin, and his name is Vincent Chung, C-H-U-N-G, Chung. I'd said Young, thinking J-U-N-G, but I was not really attending carefully to the authorship. But Vincent Chung wrote an article, and he had said that unless someone can build an argument to show where that's a contradiction or a problem, something to that effect. So he just makes the assertion. So just to remind you of your hermeneutics PDF version of this is at Lamp Theological Institute at baptistlamp.org, and also on iamkone.org. Go to the books tab, and it's historical hermeneutics, and this is the hermeneutic we were taught in the Missionary Baptist Seminary, and in its final development, Dr. Penn finished this work, that is developing it, and let me see, 2017. This has now been available online. But on page 31 it says, seek first the Bible definition of the term in question. So terms, when understood according to unbiblical definitions, will skew the understanding of the text in which it appears, for the student will unknowingly import, that is, interpose an alien meaning into the biblical text. So let's just take this as we would any eisegetical where we're leading into the text, and let's just say that this man, and I'm not faulting him, I certainly have nothing against him. His name is Vincent, and C-H-U-N-G, and I should look that up somewhere, somehow. I don't know how to find out how to pronounce personal names, but this is his assertion. So he's placing it into the Bible somewhere. So let's just look at our text, and let's look at author of, and we have in 1 Corinthians 14:33. Now this is your English King James Version, and you need to learn how to use that. Going to other translations in English without knowing how to use the authorized King James Version, and this Bible is the last one where persecution and the blood of those people called Anabaptists was shed over. And because of controversies in the Bible, the Baptists were always there. And I'm talking about the people that were categorically speaking, not denominationally nor according to some religious tradition. I'm talking about the people who use the Bible as the rule of faith and practice and have been here constituting, if you will, the membership in Lord's New Testament churches strategically localized all throughout the world. So we have this here. So he's not the author of confusion. And you can look at this, and if this is in italics, and I believe that is, you can look that up. And then it says, but he is the author of eternal salvation. So here's this word. Okay, and then here's the phrase. So we have the entire phrase, author of, and we have author of here. But we don't have the object of that, and nor he has no definition of this term. And as trained students, disciples who prefer the text, you really, I know this is for the Kone Project class that we'll review Sunday morning. You all are much more astute than that. We have some of you in our class, you have master's level degrees, you have subject matter expertise in computer technology. You're not intimidated by Google Documents and Google Drive. Some of you have degrees in computer technology, information systems, advanced degrees. Most of you have studied mathematics, electronics, technology, computers. So why would we react anyway? And you all haven't. It's just from what I'm gathering from those who do react, I'm more concerned with how little structured study those who seem to be so easily triggered. Because how would this phrase even raise an eyebrow to someone, for example, like me, a pastor, one of the Lord's New Testament churches, a subject matter expert, having been trained in the field of hermeneutics, where we take a holistic approach, and systematic theology, where we follow the categorical approach, that is the Bible categories that are found in lexicons and have Strong's number system where you can find the word and the meaning there, and then the principle of hermeneutics, the context. And if you can't remember that, it's context. If you can't remember that, it's context. And then in Bible languages, we were taught lexical syntactical analysis. So how is it that someone could just launch this assertion out here? It's really, I don't know whose side I'm on. It's almost first silly to assert this. There's no room for that. You can't place the word sin here in place of confusion, but he's not this. So we can rule that one out. But you can't say the Bible says he's the author of eternal salvation. You can't say, well, he's the author. There's no way to exchange eternal salvation for that. So it breaks down very quickly and easily if you're trained. If you don't bother to study hermeneutics, especially with this book free of charge online. It even has the book of Romans as an example of how to apply the tools of language. That's in here. So if you think that book's a great controversy, you probably never looked at it through lexical syntactical analysis in light of the context and what the inflectional morphemes would prompt you to think and to see. And then if someone could say something like this, I would take it personally as a teacher, a pastor, that congregants had been so ill trained that they would be susceptible to empty assertions. So whatever Vincent Chung is asserting here, that he's noticed how upsetting and disturbing it is to people in their reaction. First of all, reaction is not searching the scriptures. It's not researching the scriptures. So just this one step alone, just try to find this somewhere, and you notice it's not. And then we don't know what the meaning is of this term. You can look this word up, and you can look this word up. And if this word's in italics and means it's part of another word, you can determine that. So go do your homework and do that. But this is the first step. And how would you reply to God's the author of sin? It's not a yes or no. It's just this pick side. Say, I don't agree with that. Or, yes, I do. Really is irresponsible. We were admonished better. God's worthy of more time and energy. And if people actually are concerned about assertions like this, just simply go to the Bible. Start with your English Bible and go and look up the meanings. You can go to blueletterbible.org. Any user of English can use that, and you can log on. So first, if you want to know, well, do you believe this or not? That's a silly question. That's as empty as responding as this is. How could I be asked if I support or reject God as the author of sin if I haven't looked in the text and haven't evaluated it? And then the first thing I notice is that principle number 4 in a holistic approach to hermeneutics, the science of Bible interpretation, is there's no definition for this term. There's no occurrence of this phrase in the Bible. So that's what we do first. And now that discipline, that wisdom, that character that's developed through study, and that approval that God gives us who are willing to rightly divide the word of truth, that's commendable. And it helps you, if you're a father, to model behavior for your children, as a mother to model godly behavior, reverence, because to speak evilly of this gentleman or to react and just simply, it's to either rise to his level of vitriol or to condescend to it. But that would really be silly on both parts, because, you know, if you want to add a blank page to your Bible and start adding things that men say, you just won't find it written, nor will it be on record anywhere. So have a blessed day. This is for our Koine Project class Sunday morning. It's very brief, but it'll be a good discussion. It can go back. This points back to hermeneutics, so I'll include the link in the description to the hermeneutics book. It's PDF, free of charge. Download it. Even read it on your phone. So have a blessed day.